Alright, I want to thank everyone for being here today. I know it's just lunch hour. You probably have a million other things you'd rather do than listen to me ramble. So I appreciate you being here. As all you guys know, my role here at MMR is user support specialist, which basically means whenever users have computer problems, they come to me and I fix them, or try to. So, as some of you may know, some of you may not know, I recently moved to Riverside, and in doing so, I have a new neighbor named Brad. And Brad owns his own computer repair business, which I think is really cool because he gets to work for himself, and who wouldn't want to work for themselves? As part of my public speaking class, I had to interview someone in my field and who had a position that would interest me. So, of course, Brad was naturally the perfect fit for that. So I met with Brad a couple of days ago, and I'm going to go ahead and share some things that I learned in talking with him with you guys. You're with me? All right. Since Brad's self-employed, he works out of his home and basically repairs computers for home users mostly. He does do some work for companies, but mostly just for home users. And when I asked him how he markets himself, he basically said he doesn't. Most of his work is word of mouth. So that tells me that his customers are going and referring their friends, which means that they're satisfied. And the reason they're satisfied, he tells me, is because he's honest with them. So for example, if someone brings their computer to him and says, you know, this is broken, it's not working, and he looks at it and said, you know, you'd be better off just buying a new one. So they go, they buy a new one, he doesn't get their business at that point, but when the new computer runs into a problem, they'll come back to him and he'll get their business then. So I asked him what type of role communication plays in his career. And he said it's the biggest part and the most difficult part because he works with all kinds of people and has to communicate with all kinds of people. I know you guys do that here, so you're well aware of how that works. But he also has to, communicate with people in all different kind of skill levels. So for example, if he had an elderly woman and her grandson bought her a computer and was like, oh, Merry Christmas, and she's like, great, this big box, how do I plug it in? He has to be able to work with people like that, as well as a guy that, is looking at porn all day and doesn't want his wife to know and ends up with a virus on his computer. So at that point, he's dealing with someone who's kind of a techie and kind of understands it, but at the same time, it gets in over his head because he's not up to date with the technology that's out there. So working with different people at all different skill levels is important for him to listen to his customers. And collegeboard.com says that PC techs have to listen closely to how customers describe their PC problems. They have to be a communicator and a problem solver who loves a good mystery. And personally, I've always thought of a broken PC as like a puzzle. And being able to listen to your customers' feedback is going to be a piece to that puzzle. Another part of Brad's job is being able to educate himself daily. Like I said, he has to be able to keep up with technology, keep up with the curve, know what's going on. He uses a website called avtest.org, which has updates on different spyware and viruses that are out there. CareerExplorer.com also speaks to how it is important to stay knowledgeable of this ever-changing field, and it says to have long-term success, you must keep up with changing technology. And one way that Brad keeps up his customers with the new and latest up-to-date info on spyware and viruses is with his blog, which he updates on his website. And I thought that was kind of cool because not only is he keeping them informed, but it also helps him create a following of a sort. So, they stick with him and can follow him and see what's going on. When I asked Brad what skills are most important to his career, he stresses interpersonal skills. So, for example, if he makes a house call and he goes to someone's house, it's just him and that customer at his house, or at their house. And it's important that he is able to make that customer feel comfortable and at ease. And typically, the stereotype for people who work on computers is that they're introverted, they lack people skills, and they talk in techie talk, and people don't really follow what they're saying. So it's important for him that he's able to be able to put in a language they understand, and he can, use analogies to communicate that to them. And his success is based solely on his ability to do that. And what I learned from this whole experience is that it doesn't matter what field or role you're in, communication is always going to be the key to your success. And I hope that's what you guys take with you here today. Take that away with you. Remember that communication is definitely what is going to take you to that level of success that you want to be at. That's all.